Mhm. What's going on, guys? You thought I was leaving. Haha. No, I'm gonna drop some sauce for Christmas. Alright, let's begin. Sauce 1. Santa Claus is not real. Sauce 2. Jesus was real. 3. Christmas is propaganda. 4. Dojo mode is real. 5. Transmutations occur. 6. We had multiple winners in the dojo for season 1. Top one, Justin. What is going on, guys? Allah's real? Yeah, I heard he was real. I heard also, word on the street is Mr. Belmar is AI or something. What's going on, guys? It's all real. It's biosequencing. Congratulations to Justin as well. Yeah, he crushed it. Season 1 of Dojo Mode. What's going on, guys? Love you, Nate. I appreciate it, bro. I accept your love. Am I in Japan? No, but I'm going to be in Japan soon. Guys, think about the massive propaganda Christmas is. But I do have a Christmas gift for you guys. What is my skincare routine? I'll be dropping it soon. I've dropped multiple things before. Do I like Tate? I don't really know Tate, to be honest, that well. Have I ever taken acid? No, I have not. Do I eat meat? Yes, I do. What's going on, guys? All I know is think about the amount of sugar bots are eating during the holidays. It's like an excuse to do whatever you want. And then New Year comes. Let's get jacked, bro. 2 weeks in, they quit. We'll try next year. We'll try next year, bro. I have not taken LSD. My take on weed, most people shouldn't smoke weed. Raw is law. That's catchy. Guys, I want to address a few things. All right, so first things first. Christmas is for bots. If you're maxing out credit cards and you don't have the money, do not be wasting and like setting yourself up for failure just for material gifts, in my opinion. But what do I know? Guys, I've officially decided to tell you my age. I'm turning 32 soon. It's official, broskies. It's official. Can I check your DM? No, I'm not checking your DM, bro. You're an anon account. You're a bot, bro. Not too shabby, bro. I was looking a lot worse in my 20s. Like in my 22, 23, 24. I was looking terrible. It's all good, though. It's all good though. What's up, Tommy? Good to see you, man. Do I ever get sad? Yeah, I get sad for sure. But I try to handle it differently than I used to when I was like super suicidal and depressed. And I feel like moments of sadness will occur, right? And I think that's what makes the moments of happiness more beautiful. But sadness is amplified with medicine, with vaccines, with terrible high inflammatory food, with stress, with blue lights, with EMF. That's all amplified, bro. And then they give you all the labels, ADD, ADHD. There's like new stuff coming all the time. You know what I'm saying, broskies? You know what I'm saying? No. Guys, did you also know that Hollywood is mass propaganda as well? I mean, technically speaking, Hollywood, just in the name itself, it comes from the holly tree, right? And the holly tree back in the day was used for what? For magic, for dark magic and putting spells, right? So just think about that. Holly weird, bro. Holly weird with all the baby oil. Yeah, and all the Luciferian bots, bro. They're all so botted. Got him. All right, broskies. So, in the 30s, right? Training has to be different. I haven't consumed nicotine. I took time off nicotine. I actually tried nicotine the other day and I was playing volleyball and I did like 1 or 2 milligrams. Not a lot. Or no, it's actually 4 milligrams. Yeah, I ended up throwing up because it was like running around, jumping, and yeah, spiking the ball. And I ended up throwing up because I wasn't used to nicotine. I cycle it, but I think nicotine is a fantastic shield because it really leaches on to the same receptors that poisonous peptides, right, that are identical in the water supply latch onto. Same thing with when this whole botted injection going around and everybody was just like, all right, just shoot me up the ass with it, right? The smokers, they told the smokers, don't, you're gonna die. And all the smokers lived. All the goats hitting like, and then you have all the nicotine binding to the body. Of course, in many ways they're botted because they have all the other chemicals, right? When combustion occurs, that goes into the lungs. But if you did mullein tincture, mullein leaf, sea moss, you did the nebulizer with colloidal silver, salt, methylene blue, I feel like you could actually detoxify from that. Hence, smokers, dub for this round 1 of bottedness of ejections. You guys hedge yourselves against the quantitative bot-like, automated-like behavior of the common crowd. By what? By defending yourselves with nicotine, right? In my opinion, nicotine like tincture, spray, nasal spray, patches, gum, those are better alternatives. And I would personally cycle 1 to maybe 4 grams, 5 grams, top 6 grams in a day. I see a lot of the guys, bro, with 4, 5, 6, 7 pouches. That's an addiction. That's pursuing a buzz. I don't think that's healthy. I really don't smoke, like, I don't enjoy cigars at all. Like, I feel like sometimes I'll smoke certain herbal blends, and I really enjoy that. Sometimes CBD, CMN. There's really good alternatives out there. In my opinion, I'm gonna get some water. Hold up. In my opinion, though, most people don't know what they're doing. And most people are just addicted vapes, all this stuff, blue light, like we're creating an automated like nation, right? Hence why you see somebody walking around with a 4-pack or 6-pack and people go crazy. Hydrogen water, yes, fantastic. Best exercise for joints, dynamic fluidity. Understanding core principles and then abiding by those principles with the power of discipline and not seeking motivation. What's your option on gymnastics? What's my opinion? I think gymnastics is actually pretty whole. Gymnastics, Pilates, even like calisthenics, band training. I feel like those are really good vehicles to have max XP points, so to say, because everybody's an automated like behavior in terms of relating reality to video games. So we'll go with the XP points in terms of mobility, in terms of being dynamic, in terms of being able to control the nervous system at its fullest potential, which makes something like doing a assisted or a girl push-up into an ultimate workout in developing a massive chest, right? The problem is people don't understand core principles. People want to take shortcuts. People want to do steroids, right? I think steroids is not the solution, broskies. Because the steroids, then you have the blue light, then you have low testosterone, low sex drive, your dopamine levels are dysregulated, your circadian rhythm is imbalanced, and you seek bigger biceps and bigger traps. But what do I know? What do I know? Yeah, lymphatic drainage is fantastic. You'll look younger. Advice on strengthening tendons, full range of motion. I ideally train with bands, body weight. Don't do heavy reps. You really want to engage with the muscle. Focus on peak contraction, breathing. I personally like closing my eyes when I start like focusing on, for example, contracting my abs, contracting my calves. I'm not very fond of looking at myself in the mirror all the time, right? I feel like a very bad behavior the automated like gym bros tend to adopt is a very static and rigid and dogmatic training style, right? This is the routine that I've been doing for a year. And then they go to the same mirror in the same position, look to the right and look at themselves curling, right? And then they sleep on the same side, and it's just a disaster in my opinion. Maybe you could say it's admirable that they're trying to get a good physique, but it's kind of like dumb, in my opinion. I have not done the magnetic nasal strips, so I don't know. What do you think about training martial arts? I think it depends. I think there's certain martial arts that are good. I think it's also like, what's the purpose? Like, what's the intent behind doing the martial arts? But I think it's good for exercise. Thoughts on cold shower? I think it's better than cold plunging, in my opinion. For many reasons. I feel like a lot of people just jump into cold plunging and don't realize that there's a certain level that you hit with cold exposure. That's all you really need. Then the rest of it's also kind of pursuing a high. I feel like people start pursuing the high. The problem becomes when they don't take care of their skin, and then their skin starts getting super dry. It's almost like dry just from the cold exposure. So, I don't know. I just don't like it. You're very attractive and handsome. Cheers. Thank you. Some people say I'm ugly. Some people say I'm weird. Some people say he looks feminine. Some people say he looks masculine. At the end of the day, it's all good, and it doesn't matter. That's just my opinion. Skin hacks? I mean, dude, I'm a 32-year-old man, bro. I got a few hacks for you. Avoid seed oils. Avoid microwaves. Avoid EMF. Avoid blue light. Avoid common products. Join the dojo. Get some dojo bros. Start training outside in the sun. Put some red light under your nuts. Put some cold water under your nuts. If you're a woman and you don't identify as having nuts nowadays, then your vagina, And then for all the other people, I have no idea what you guys can do. You guys can go cold plunge in really cold water. Go climb Mount Everest. When am I coming to Miami? I'm coming to Miami whenever I feel like bodying myself. Like heavy. I just walk in Miami, I just feel dumber, bro. No offense to the people that live in Miami. It's just some of you are really botted. Favorite book? The Bible. Is kefir healthy? Yeah, in my opinion. I think you can, with kefir, as long as it's not highly processed and you're like changing different kefirs, right? And changing the different probiotics and I think that's the crucial aspect, right? Is like I feel like people like a specific brand and a specific flavor, and that's what they drink for many years. And I don't think that's healthy. I think you need to go cycling it and start introducing new things into the gut microbiome. Puffy face advice: lymphatic drainage, cold exposure, do some jumping jacks, avoid blue light, don't wear makeup, don't wear perfume, don't wear AirPods, join the dojo. Kimchi, I think kimchi's good. Do I meditate? Not really. Is there a way to find if a product is reliable? Asking how do you do research on products? I mean, yeah, the research, at the end of the day, I feel like people really haven't realized, like they haven't caught on to the game of life. And I feel like the game of life has many games in it. And one of them is the whole aspect of how everything's shifted, right? We've shifted from a bartering system to maritime law to fiat currency to, hey, back in the day, it was fantastic small businesses that you're like, this is my hard-earned money. I'm going to pay you for your good services. And then it's become a monopoly of bigger businesses. Yeah, and people just haven't really grasped it. So in my opinion, the best thing you can do is just invest in your local farmers, go to the farmer's market, but not only because you're investing in the community, but you're just getting better product. You can actually see the face of the person that's giving you the shit that you're about to eat. You can see where it comes from. And I personally believe it's healthier to eat the food in your environment, right? Than you being here in, I don't know, let's say New York or Los Angeles, and you're eating kiwis and passion fruit from Thailand, right? Like, I don't think that's good at all. At all. Merry Christmas, bro. Merry Christmas. Even though Christmas is propaganda and it is bought it, Merry Christmas. Thoughts on CBD? I think CBD is fantastic. I think terpenes are fantastic. You can take it orally, tincture. Yeah, tap into it. What's your opinion on Johnny Walker? It's super botted. Super botted. I'm not fond of alcohol, to be honest. What's biohacking? So you start biohacking by not biohacking, right? I feel like whenever I started kind of like talking about it and the whole aspect, it wasn't as popular. Now I feel it's almost become like a fad, right? It's almost kind of gay in my opinion. Especially with the whole transhumanism and all that bullshit agenda tied into it. If you know, you know. If you don't know, go read a book. How to get thicker eyebrows? Black castor oil in your eyes. Start doing some derma rolling, red light therapy. Or you can choose the second path. I won't tell you which one's the best. The second path is you put some synthetic products, you start putting makeup, you start putting a lot of black makeup on it with synthetic dyes, maybe you start eating microwave food and you put your head in the microwave and you sleep in that at night and you'll get amazing eyebrows. Those are two paths you can choose. Choose wisely. What do you recommend for a forward growth chin? Dude, it's honestly, a lot of it has to do with posture of the mouth. Yeah. I was a mouth breather for many years. Honestly, it's still a bad habit. Yeah. Acne, I think there's contribution with highly inflammatory diet, sugar, hyperpalatable foods, acne, and like reaction. A lot of it has to do with the liver. Look up mewing. Yeah, mewing is good. Mew mew. Mew mew. Mew mew mew. Do you even mew, bro? Are you even are you even on the Mog wave, bro? How to fix asthma? I think you could start doing like nebulizing, like using a nebulizer. That's a good approach. I think like being aware of it, right? You should adopt your training styles around that as well, right? So if you're living in a cold environment, in my opinion, you shouldn't go out doing a marathon or doing HIIT training or something like that. If you're dealing with asthma, I would be looking at some sort of tincture to clean the lungs. Mullein leaf is fantastic, and sea moss. And I would focus heavily on like breathing through my nose, doing speed walks, power walks, stretching walks on a fasted state. How can you heal rotator cuff injury? The last thing you want to do is not put it through the range of motion because it hurts. You have to do high levels of collagen, maybe 30, 40 grams a day. Maybe hit it with PMF, red light therapy, hot and cold therapy. Grab some arnica cream. You can add a few drops of like sage oil, because what sage will do, right, is it really heats up the skin. You'll have all the red blood cells going to the area, and then focusing range of motion, especially after you've heated the wrist injury or the rotator cuff injury, right? And then full range of motion training with bands, a lot of exterior rotation, interior rotation. All the quote unquote boring exercises that are not that boring. Because you can listen to a podcast, an audiobook, chill music. How to fix negative tilted eyes or like rounded eyes. So you have to look at senpaku eyes. So whenever, like when I was super depressed back in the day, like you can see in people's eyes, the eyes will shift. You can see it with people on substances. You can see it when people get angry, right? So I think the eyes do say a lot about a person's health. But I feel like first things you want to do is just start living a healthy lifestyle, start putting like cold around the eyes. Like you can do ice. I love doing is my shredder gourd. After I'm done using it, I'll like dump it into, not always, but I'll do it into like a Tupperware, and after 2 or 3 days I'll boil that for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, and I'll do ice cubes and I'll put that on my skin. So you can put that around your eyes. You can do lymphatic drainage. It only takes 5 minutes. Do it in the morning. Pretty chill. But the last thing you want is start unhealthy diet, start hitting all the medicine, start doing Ozempic like a bot. And also saggy face and like always mouth breathing. That will also take a toll on your face. Thoughts on the Amish? I think Amish people are underrated. I think they're cool people. I think they're strong people. I think they're people with not a lot of distractions, right? And they can do a lot. Like they can build a barn in a day or two. So I don't know, you tell me. I feel like most people nowadays are just flexing their gay Bugattis, their gay Lamborghinis, their gay McLarens, their gay Porsches. That's just my take. Islam is botted, roasted. How's life? Life is pretty good at the moment. Fixed scoliosis, yeah. You have to start reducing the inflammatory diet. I actually spiked myself with gluten for 3 days in a row. Like just recently, and I'm fasting now, trying to recover from it. How's your abs? I haven't trained my abs in a long time, bro. But they're doing good. I'm back on the clean bulk. And I'm natty, so take that, bro. Take that. How many years? A couple months it took to achieve the physique. I showed before and after multiple times. And I have multiple testimonials in the dojo, people doing the same thing. It's just people don't really pay attention to the principles and don't apply them and want motivation instead of discipline. And most people aren't smart. Most people are dumb. Most people live in a crowd-like, automated-like behavior. How do you get my abs? You have to join the dojo, bro. Drop some principles there. Honestly, I haven't been training my abs that much. I'm going to, though. They're going to get pretty crazy. And also, I'm not AI. At least I don't think I'm AI. I'm pretty human. Probably some of the last humans that will ever exist. What am I inhaling? Peppermint oil. What are your thoughts on nicotine as a nootropic? Fantastic. Just cycle it and don't become addicted to it. Islam is the best. I disagree. Like, heavily disagree. I think it's kind of botted. The smell trigger, what? Do you reckon HMB? Yeah, I think HMB mixed with creatine is a fantastic combo. Thoughts on Lucifer? He's real. Yeah, I like inhaling peppermint oil, oxygenation, broskies. High levels of power. High levels of power, broskies. Oof. Have you seen Andrew Tate? I have seen him. Have you seen Andrew Tate? Best fruits to eat? The ones that are around you, in your local area, in your local season. That's what's the best. And then ideally, if you're fat, you kind of want to go for the less amount of sugar possible. Ideally, avoid juicing as well, especially sugary juices. Maybe celery, carrots is fine, but otherwise I would avoid that. In my opinion, if you did a cucumber detox with carrot juice, parsley, celery, right, and fasted, you would look a lot younger and a lot healthier. I actually haven't worked out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because I just needed to give the body a break. But I'm also been on a super like low caloric diet. And I feel like that's also an intrinsic reason why I look younger at my age and why I look younger now than I did many years ago. I'll be back. I'm gonna put some music on. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. Merry Christmas. Thoughts on sprinting? I think like if more people adopted sprinting once they became healthy and didn't really compromise like pulling something, yeah, I feel like that's a way better approach than marathons. the earth flat. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about Barbara O'Neill? I love Barbara O'Neill. I think she's super sweet. She's super smart, super intelligent. And if more people listen to her, we'd have a better health system. What do you think about Christmas? I think Christmas is propaganda and it's botted. I think it's kind of dumb that you tell little kids that Santa Claus is real, to be honest. I think it's cool that you give them gifts, but if you can't afford gifts, like, don't put yourself in debt to buy gifts. Do I have tattoos? I don't have tattoos. What state do I live in? I always forget. How would you raise your kids? I don't know, to be honest. I definitely wouldn't put them in school. Thoughts on 10-day master cleanse? I think whenever you can fast, fast. And once you break your fast, what you introduce is just as important as the fast itself. So if you're fasting and then you're going to break your fast with hyperpalatable foods or something unhealthy because you're like, I'm going to reward myself for the fast, that's a fractal mentality. Supplements for high energy levels. I like methylene blue. I like pine pollen. Honestly, there's many things. I feel like even tapping into algae like chlorella, chlorophyll gives you natural energy. Tapping into things like boron, amino acids as well, liquid aminos. I'm forgetting one. Fulvic acid. Fulvic acid with everything. And I think also cycling, I mean, you could probably be pretty consistent with it. You just have to, like, not overdo it. Sheila shit. Sheila shit. Sheila shit. I've never heard of Neurogum, to be honest. What would you do if I was president? I would probably never be president, to be honest. Do you use iPod? I do. I bought an iPod Nano. Thoughts on vegetables? I mean, I don't really eat that many vegetables. I tap into some algae, like chlorophyll and chlorella. Sometimes I'll do some juices, like celery juice, carrot juice, but I'm not a big advocate of the vegan diet at all. Shilajit good for you, bad for you? I think Shilajit's good for you. I just think that the source has to be good. There's a lot of fake Shilajit and people can get it confused with like molasses. And then if you get the raw stuff and you don't really refine the process, a lot of people have died because they've overdone it because they don't get a boner. So, right, low libido, they're like, okay, I'm gonna eat a lot of Shilajit, and they go for it. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know somebody who told me that their cousin died. Or like their nephew or something, because they went out in the mountains and was just collecting it and eating it raw multiple times. Sleep advice? I'm going to give you sleep advice. Reset your circadian rhythm. Sunrise, look at it with your bare eyes. Sunset, look at it with your bare eyes. Avoid blue light as much as possible. Blue light blockers. Avoid a lot of Shilajit as well at night because you'll be wired. I was going to say a lot of blue light and a lot of dopamine exposure, whether it's work with emails, whether it's text, whether it's social media and dopamine. Like, I feel like you kind of want to have some sort of wind down protocol. Like, even if you had like 3 or 4 different wind down protocols that you could tap into, wind down protocols would kind of be like, okay, bath, fluctuation of hot and cold therapy, right? Maybe cold plunge and then sauna. Like, you could have different things and be like, okay, for the last 2-3 hours, no cell phone, right? The problem is most people are addicted to it, and that's the big issue. What water bottle brand do you recommend? I don't recommend any. I recommend going to your local area and seeing if there's a good spring and using that and tapping into that. And if you don't have that as an option, you live in a city, most definitely have filters, reverse osmosis, maybe even stack it with carbon, like a carbon filter. And then I would have to restructure the water and revitalize the water and like bring it back to life, because it's pretty dead. Like you get rid of all the bad stuff, but you get rid of all the good stuff as well, right? So you kind of have to restructure it. That's kind of why I like just tapping into spring water, because it's already there. And I was talking with my brother. It's kind of like just drinking spring water in a fasted state. When it's cold, it fills you up. Like you actually feel like you're full. Are Japanese getas the most optimal? I love Japanese getas. I think they're great. I actually think I bought my first Japanese geta when I was like 17 or 18 in Japan. Throwback. Where do you get your spring water? From the spring, bro. From the mountain. From la montaña, bro. Removing warts. You could try apple cider vinegar and like try to patch that acidity, maybe colloidal silver. If not, you can always just like laser it. Best red 40, yeah. Do red 40 tap water, do some EMF, do some microwave, do some styrofoam with moldy coffee, do some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with a lot of gluten, and then do microwave rice and chicken. You'll be good. No matter water. Thoughts on laser hair removal? I think you have to be careful with the laser. Well, I don't know why everybody's laughing, bro. The best stretches you can do before you go to sleep, very simple. What's the deficit? Where are you tight? And then go get a shower, and after a shower, Lavandulin gastifolia. I feel like it's the best lavender in terms of putting into theta sleep. So I would tap into that and then do your stretches. Thoughts on sleeping next to a bunch of electronics plugged in? I think it's great. I feel like if you can grab a phone and put it right next to your crotch, and then put maybe the computer, the iPad, maybe a few Oura rings. What else are we missing that's EMF? Yeah, just like really try to stack yourself. Maybe turn on the TV. Yeah, and listen to some botted Hollywood movie. And you're going to set yourself up for success. For success. If you hate EMF, why are you always on Instagram? My friend, I hedge myself. I have EMF protectors all around me. But my suggestion to you, if you like EMF, just keep going at it. Ideally, look for the biggest 5G tower and like buy a house or rent a house right next to it if you really like 5G. Also make sure that you spend a lot of time in the water when you're close to the tower, and just hold your iPhone or something. Yeah, or be on social media. And you'll be good. You'll be great. You'll live long, I promise. Psych. But it's all good. We'll test it out. You do the 5G, I don't do the 5G, and we'll see what's up. I'm looking pretty good for 32. Broskies. But what do I know? Did I meet the Tates? I did meet the Tates. Or the Tates met me. That's more like it. If you ask me. Tristan's face, you saw that? Tristan's like, damn. Tristan's like, shit. Shit. How old is Luke? Luke is younger than me. He's like a year and a half younger than me. Bro, at least we're talking about EMF. I don't care. I think it's great. I think it's great. I think you should go heavy on the EMF, go heavy on the Johnny Walker, put really tight shoes on and get on an EMF treadmill and go to La La Land. Black coffee with honey, thoughts on that? Ideally, if you can do black coffee and want to really use it to potentiate your fast and potentiate autophagy, I wouldn't really want to introduce sugar. Am I natty? Bro, I'm pretty sure I'm natty. Pretty sure I'm natty. I don't think you're 32, look like this, with steroids. That's just my take on it. But what do I know? Who's more botted, me or Luke? Luke for sure. For sure. Dark eyes, dark under the eye bag advice. No blue light exposure, no makeup, no perfume, no pills. What made me hate the world so much? I don't hate the world, I love the world. I think the world is a fascinating place. And I feel like I went from a very nihilistic, suicidal point of view that prior to that, that event, I was actually quite the opposite. I thought the world was very fantastic. Everybody was good. Nobody was bad. Evil didn't exist. But clearly I was wrong. But no, I love the world. But I also feel like there's very automated behaviors and things that are not natural that we call world. Microplastic detox. Okay, microplastic detox. So, most gym bros need this because they eat out of Tupperwares. They're literally like the bona fide walking microplastic organisms, if you really think about it. And then they smash the AirPods. It's literally a preposterous way to look at health or thinking you're healthy. Does wearing silver have any benefits? I think so. I think it has many benefits, just like copper. I believe we're also electric beings, and we're made up of light. How did you start to get so popular on Instagram? I do not know. I do not know at all. I don't think I'm that popular, to be honest. I don't have that many followers. Thoughts on lemon water? I think it's fantastic for alkalizing the body. Ideally also tap into chlorophyll. Lime as well, great for detox, especially if you're in a fasted state. One of my favorite potions is kind of like just warm spring water, cayenne, a little salt, a little lime, and sometimes just for the phosphorus, I'll add cream of tartar. I'm the corniest dude ever. I mean, your name's Bob, bro, so you can't even talk. Like, you have one of the corniest names ever. Bob out here trying to talk. Bobby Bob. Bob the corn dog. The ironies of life. Bob out here saying he's corny. Your name's Bob, bro. Like, you can't get cornier than that, bro. I mean, I have a lot of Bob friends, but they don't just talk trash like that. It's just funny. That's the first thing I looked was his username. I'm like, what a bot. Maybe he's a nice guy. Maybe Bob is a nice guy. But maybe he's corny as well. Uh, got him. Yeah, I have different kinds of laughs. That's my laugh of just realizing how dumb people are. I actually fast a lot more now. I haven't been working out the last few days. I've been fasting a lot. And it's been really cold. I'm up in the mountains. Up in the mountains. Up over in yonder. With Bob. I'm up over in yonder with Bob. So I can't go out walking because it's cold outside. Unless I want to do a shiver walk. Bob. Ooh, Bob the tomato, bro. What a troll. What a troll. All good, Bob. We love you, Bob. All right, enjoy the gym, bro. Battery. Thoughts on Bob? I think he's a good guy. I think, yeah. Any tips on skin health? Start fasting more. Yo, do you think eating pork is cannibalism? I think eating human flesh is cannibalism, and I think there's a lot of cannibalism going on, and people are not aware of it. Thoughts on Zen? Not my favorite. What's in your Christmas dinner? Wonton soup. That's my Christmas dinner. What education do you have to prove what you say? I believe at the end of the day, every piece of information is self-learned, right? Whether you pay $100,000 and get indoctrinated by, these lovely Rockefellers and all these lovely families, right? And you get your title and hopefully you get a job. If that's where you get your information, whether you learn or not, that's cool. Some people learn from books, some people learn from podcasts. But at the end of the day, all information, you have to learn it yourself, right? That's just my take on it. What do I know? How do I make income? I don't make income. I live on I unfortunately I'm renting out this room and I'm gonna go back and live outside. Like Miyamoto Musashi. Where do I see myself in 20 years? I do not know. Best form of nicotine, cleanest as much as possible, gum, tincture, patches. Guys, do you guys realize sometimes what you type before you talk or no? That goes for you, Owens. You seem kind of botted, Brisky, but it's all good. Johnny Walker in the war room. Johnny Walker, Tristan wanted me to drink alcohol. I told him no. And he was kind of pissed off, but it's all good. Should you take vitamins for growth? I don't think so. I think you should stretch. I think you should move. I think you should fast. I think you have a higher chance of getting a growth spurt if you fast than if you take vitamins. But ask Owens, he might know. He maybe paid $100,000 to go to school somewhere and got a degree, and he feels good about himself. Interesting. Who funds what and what research they have to do or they get defunded, regardless if they win Nobel Prizes or not. It's all very interesting. Correlations. How successful do you feel in life? I don't know. How not to be an NPC? It's a very good question. I feel like the first thing is most people are an automated behavior, meaning they do the same pattern over and over again without breaking from it. I feel like people that never take leaps of faith, never take risks. And people, I feel like also the word NPC is a used word and very familiar word in the lingo of the ecosystem, of the ether, based on the proxy of technology in video games being introduced. If not, such a concept as NPC, I don't think would even be a thing. Maybe you say that person is dumb or stupid, right? But that's just my take on it. But what do I know? What do I know? Thoughts on seed oils? I think most of the world is on seed oils. And look at most of the world. That's your answer. That's your answer. How many hours do you sleep at night? In the winter, I'm sleeping longer. I'm sleeping 6 to 9. 69. Have I been reading anything lately? I have. Been reading a really good book, rereading a book, and I'm actually going to show it to Owens. Owens, check this out. So, I don't know if in your university they taught you this book, Owens, but I would read it if I were you. And maybe you should see a correlation with this in the medical field, right? And who funds what? And if they don't fund, then the popular crowd goes haywire. Maybe you should read that book, Owens. Maybe you'll learn a few things. From a good author, Gustave Le Bon. I would highly suggest everybody recommend this. Highly recommend this for every person on planet Earth. The Crowd, a study of the popular mind by Gustave Le Bon. So this is what I'm currently reading at the moment. And my Bible, of course. Why no girlfriends? Because I'm not really interested in dating at the moment. I'm pretty content with myself. I don't need to be looking for people. It's sad. I know so many guys, they always have to be with a girl. They always have to be with somebody. From girl to girl to girl. Problem to problem to problem. Problem to problem to problem. How was your day? My day was, honestly, I had a really fantastic, productive day today. Owens, you're super cute, broski. You're very cute, buddy. You're very cute. Some of these questions are so botted, it's so funny. Any tips for growth hair? For growth hair, I feel like most of the products people are pushing, like the conventional products, in my opinion, don't really work. I feel like when you start boiling herbs, you start using essential oils, you start tapping into maybe light, strengthening follicles, pulling the hair, providing blood circulation, whether it's the stimulating of the hands, of the scalp, or even putting your head upside down. That also really helps, in my opinion. I personally have been doing spring water with a lot of infused peppermint oil. I've been putting oregano oil. I've been putting castor oil. Only a few drops, not too much, because then your hair is going to get sticky. But if you don't want anything related to oils, then you just can boil teas. You can boil herbs. Same thing. You can boil rosemary in water. You can boil cloves, cinnamon, put that put it in a bottle, ideally not plastic. Put it in the fridge, let it cool off, and then you spray that on your hair, right? And then you avoid putting tap water on your hair, especially if there's high levels of fracking in the area, if there's a lot of heavy metals in the water, and especially if you don't have a filtering system. Like if I went to Florida and I don't have the filter in the water, my hair goes crazy. Right? So I believe it's a lot of the factors in the environment that plays a crucial role in one's health. Are you going to write a book with all your knowledge? I wrote 4 scrolls. You can go check it out. It's pretty cool. Are you siblings with Luke Belmar? Yes, I'm his older brother. When will you drop the dojo supplement? We'll see. Thoughts on Chiro? I've never heard of that. My friend Sam shampoos his hair every day and his hair looks like a helmet. How can he help? Yeah, tell him not to shampoo his hair every day. I feel like that's the problem. And I used to do that when I was younger. I used to always have to keep my hair really short because it was always dry. In drying using a lot of shampoo with hot water that's not filtered, all you're doing is drying your scalp, right? And that's why the hair looks dry. So I'd tell him to stop. Yeah, just using the synthetic shampoos. Is it true that Luke turned up to America with $100 in the suitcase? I don't remember what it was, to be honest. Like, if it was 100, I think it was more than that. 200, I don't remember. Personally, I had $700 when I came. Thoughts on 200, 300 milligrams of caffeine daily? I think when you take it, plays a crucial role. I for example, think taking black coffee before a workout, like I used to like doing that a lot, but then I realized, hey, it can potentially compromise the gains in terms of cortisol. So maybe taking it earlier on in the day, or maybe doing ashwagandha tincture in between to hedge yourself. But I feel like when you take caffeine, plays a huge role. That's why I like doing mate. I like doing guayusa. I like doing green tea sometimes. It depends on the green tea, because I feel like sometimes my body doesn't react well to green tea with certain, from certain growers. I feel like some people do have allergic reactions to green tea, so you just have to test it out. If you always want to make sure, you can always do tests. Like that's always a possibility, especially nowadays since we become more advanced in that sector and vector. I think at the end of the day, guys, it's very simple. And I'm going to finish with this because my battery's about to die and I got stuff to do. Most people don't know sometimes or feel overwhelmed by all the information, and that stops them from starting or taking action. I feel like sometimes all you need is a few essential tips that if you apply through the power of discipline and focus on your why and forget about motivation, you can really get far, right? And it can take a month, 2 months, and you'll get momentum, right? And when you get that momentum, that's what you were looking for before, that motivation. And that's when you can really get things going, right? When you get that momentum. The hardest thing is getting the momentum. So I'll keep it with that. That being said, Merry Christmas, even though it is botted in propaganda. Peace.